think the offside flag is up. Leon Bailey did as well, and he scores! His 4th international goal. And Jamaica are in dreamland here, 2-0 up inside of 20 minutes.
Good run, Leon. Goal.
Light tackle by Charles, and the shot in the back of the net. It's one abroad.
Their turn to attack instead with Ronaldo Cephas. Really dangerous ball in. Davis arriving and touched in by Kahim Dixon.
All right, so take this out of me. Yes, the World Cup qualifiers team has been selected. Yes, it has, and we don't know it already. Whenever one team selection take place, we all know say Kias have to go on, Bangaran have to go on, name of a call, who did it, who did it, who did it from who. That has to happen. It's just the nature of the Reggae Boyz supporters. It's just how we do things. So welcome back, people, to MG Sports TV. Blows on skirt. I forget. Welcome back. What the heck? Brain fart moment. You know, me not cut out this, but me not about to cut it out. So welcome back, people, to MG Sports TV. Thank you very much again for tuning in. Jaja. Jaja. Yo. Really appreciate it. You go on, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I go work on a different intro. It look like a time for me change my intro. It look like a time for me change my intro. That never happened before. That never happened before. Should I be worried? Should I be worried? All right, let me get you the video. Let me get you the video. Me worry about after. Worry about the intro after. Or why me have the brain fart moment after. Anyways, this is a review of the Jamaica squad for the World Cup qualifiers. And as you know, once a squad is selected, there's going to be issues. There's always issues. People will be complaining about this or that or this or that player. One thing for sure, there's a quite so often the name Ravel Morrison pop up in the press conference. And I knew this would happen. That's the reason why after Ravel Morrison's selection, I most definitely did a video speaking about the inclusion and what it might mean. Inclusion of Ravel Morrison after it clearly stated why Ravel Morrison was excluded and what it might mean to the team and also to the supporters. Now you're going to find a lot of supporters asking questions about other players. Notably, he did mention the issues with Boza. Then now people are going to make the cross-referencing in regards to, Boza, such and such, but yes, still, you're bringing Ravel based off of what you said. I expected that to happen. I really expected that to happen. And that's one of the reasons why I said, what does that mean when he included Ravel Morrison in the squad after clearly stated the reason why he was excluded. Anyways, that's not the question here. Ravel Morrison is a part of the squad for this time around. And there are also a lot of other players that, you kind of wonder, but at the end of the day, we'll go through that. Anyways, let's start off by discussing the squad. I think generally for the 2 games that we'll be playing, I think it's a fairly decent squad. I give percentage-wise, I'm going to say it's a 75%. I think 75 like one B minus. Is that B? Is that probably B minus? I think 75 in the region of B minus. Yeah, around B minus. And why? I have a serious issue with the midfield. I have a serious issue with the midfield. Now, the Reggae Boyz squad is like, the front is like a Ferrari. Talent. Big, proper talent at the front. The defense is like a Porsche, smooth, you know, talent as well, capable of handling the job. Andre Blake is back, which means the goalkeeping aspect of it is like, I can't use it as a goalkeeper. Maybe a Mustang. I probably want Bugatti. Yeah, Andre Blake in a goal. Bugatti. But in midfield now. Alright, let me see now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 players in the midfield. 5. That rough enough. And let me tell you how serious this is. You know, I want to just analyze the team after talking about this. You know, I talk about the midfield, and I may have something to highlight about the midfield, which is a dangerous risk that Steve McLaren is taking, just bringing these 5 players. It's a dangerous risk, but if he can maneuver the squad properly enough, it might just escape it, or there might be no issue. But in the event there's an issue, no. Anyways, let's jump onto the squad. Alright, first thing first, we have Andre Blake in goal. We all know what Andre Blake has to offer. Number 1 all the time, every time. He will be number 1 unless knock what? Unless there's bar injury. Andre Blake will be in goal. We have Shaquan Davis, who just completed the Unity Cup competition, and which, you know, probably not necessarily the best tournament for him, but he came through alive. And also Jamal Wade, who we haven't seen in a good while, and he's back in the setup, which is quite good to see him back as well. Then now in defense, as I said, it's the defense. If it's our Porsche again, yeah, the Porsche. But we just done with the Bugatti. Come with the Porsche now. We have Richard King, who also completed the Unity Cup. I thought he had a really good Unity Cup overall in context. Then we have Kyle Ming. He did play a few minutes in the Unity Cup. I think he played in the finals. Didn't play in the first game, I believe. He played in the finals. Lembi Kisa looked like he not pick up a red card. Was on a yellow. Looked like he not pick up a red card, and he was blowing through his ears. He looked thin. He looked tired. If I use the term thin like a wet sheet or Rizzler. Yeah, that was Lembi Kisa after 15 minutes in the game. To a Nigeria winger, them are running. But Kyle Ming came in. I think he came in for, was it second half? Some part of the second half. But he got a few pounds. He started off a bit shaky. Misheading him something there until he kind of grew into the game. Then now we have Dexter Lembi Kisa. So this basically, so that's 2 right back now. With the addition of Joel Latibodier being added to the squad, like now move on to Joel Latibodier now. Dexter Lembi Kisa right back. Kyle Ming potentially at right back as well. Can play both roles, right back and centre back. So that's probably a good thing. We have Joel Latibodier as a centre back. Right back option. Me see him in the defensive part here, so. But will McLaren use him in a defense? Will he use him in a defense? I mean, he's listed amongst the defense, but will he use him in defense? I don't know, maybe. But it would be interesting to see Joel Latibodier back in his natural position in right back. It would be very, very interesting to see what he can do in that. I do think, though, the last performance, Lembi Kisa, I'm unsure what really happened, but in that game versus Nigeria, I don't know if I broke bush night or something, but why? Man look tired. Look extremely tired in that game. Then we have Amarbel in the left back position, and also joining him, next left footer, Greg Lay. So technically, what's kind of happening here is 2 players per position in some sense. 2 players per position, technically in some sense. Because, yeah. So we have right back, Lembi Kisa, and probably Latibodier. Left back, Amarbel and Greg Lay. So that's 2. Richard King, centre back. Mason Holgate, centre back as well. So that's 2. And now, seniority steps in place, Damian Lowe. Now, big question here, you know what? May I leave the part there for the analysis as well, which is after me done name of the squad. So midfield now. When me categorize midfielders, did me give midfield a category? No, I didn't. Ladder. Ladder. I say ladder. You know, me gonna say Mark X. But the problem was me this is with Mark X, you know. I say one axe you. No, one pro box. Midfielder pro box. It's not lack of quality, but the numbers not enough. I don't think the numbers enough. I really don't think the numbers are enough. And also, I have something to mention as well, where the midfield is concerned. So, pro box I write. Yeah. Pro box. And not just the regular pro box. A pro box with red plate. So we're in a big recessor. A pro box with red plate. So we're in a big recessor. So we have Isaac Aiden in the middle of the park. I think he also had a fairly decent Unity Cup as well. He had a really good Unity Cup campaign. Very silent. Casey Palmer, who played good in the first match versus Trinidad, never necessarily looked good versus Nigeria, but he kind of held his own. But you know, moment there. John Russell, who I thought had a really good Unity Cup campaign. Ravel Marson only played. How much means Ravel Marson played? I think there's mixed feelings about Ravel Marson Unity Cup something. I think he came about 35 minutes. Ravel Marson played. He came in the first Trinidad game. It kind of helped us win back the game because he take the sting out of the game, get us back on the right foot. Then the second game now, you don't really see much from him in that game. Maybe the tempo, maybe the pace of the game, and such forth. Dwayne Atkinson came into the second game as well. He was absent for the first game. And he missed a penalty, which a lot of persons are crucifying him for. I don't know why. That's football. Even Ronaldo and Messi missed penalty. But he was fairly okay. Had a decent little showing. Dwayne Atkinson, nothing to rave about. Now let's go to the Ferrari. Is it the Ferrari? Yeah, the Ferrari front line. Demari Gray. Big question mark for this one. Based off my position. The review they made the review for about 5 minutes. So the video about probably about 15 minutes. Anyways, Leon Bailey coming back into the setup. Seniority again. Ronaldo Cephas, who was actually our best player for the Unity Cup. Questionable. People are going, you can probably say John Russell as well. Also one of our best players. Kyle Dixon, back again, youngster, who also had a decent Unity Cup campaign. Rona Brown came into the second game. Look alright. Look fairly decent in the second game in the minutes that he got. Romar Burrell looking really good coming in. Looking very hungry as well. Quite dynamic. Left, right, and also down the middle. Romario Williams. Still tentatively, this is a player who technically, when he plays for us, he always go on good. Funny enough, when Romario play, he always go on good. He's not set the world alight, but him always just give what is required. If he's an assist or something, he tend to get what is required. Now, Tyrese Campbell, an excited youngster from Charlton Athletic, 21 years old. This is a player. He is a player. A lot of questions were asked about Mademoiselle. Based off what I've heard, paperwork are not sorted as yet. Aren't sorted as yet. Alright, so let me get into the little bit of the review. Let's get into that. Now, defenders. Defense, alright. Big question for Steve McLaren, in which who will he drop? Richard King or Mason Oldgate to bring in Damian Lowe? That's the big question. Remember the last game that Damian Lowe was present for? I think it was I don't remember. But it was Richard King and Ethan Ping was going to play side and side. And Richard King did made a mistake. Well, let me say a mistake. So, in my view, not necessarily a mistake. That when we can't see the goal, I think it was the World Cup qualifiers versus St. Vincent? I think that's the case. No, not World Cup qualifiers. The prelims, the Gold Cup prelims. And Damian, I was surprised. When Damian Lowe came to the squad, I thought that Steve McLaren would have benched Richard King and bring in Damian Lowe. But he stick it out with Richard King. Technically, wants a ball handler. Now let's get to the middle of the park. Ravel Morrison and Dwayne Atkinson got a few minutes into the Unity Cup campaign. The predominant players were Casey Palmer, John Russell, Isaac Aiden. These were the three predominant players issue is, if we should pick up a serious knock what? If there should be an issue with Isaac Aiden, who was so far this not the Unity Cup, the deep line playmaker, or should I say the defensive midfielder who was protecting the back line, if they should have ringing ankle, then what do we do next? We're going to see Damian Lowe coming in Migley Park, or we're going to see John Russell down here, which are going to limit his capability in which we have seen so far, even though he can play that position. But I do believe that him in the advanced 8 role /10/8/10 role, he looks very, very good versus both Nigeria and Trinidad and Tobago. So, which means that I would say that him have the position in lock. Casey Palmer, nah play that role. Casey Palmer not tackle. I don't know if you realize. Casey Palmer is not necessarily a tackler. Not Ravel Morrison's position as well, not doing Akin's position as well. So we are a little bit in a bit of trouble right there. So hopefully the pro box with the red plate, don't take no chance, don't broke no red light, don't pick up nobody don't pick up, and we're supposed to be smooth sailing. Even if we don't make no money after our pro box in a week there, yeah man, hopefully it's good enough. Hopefully good enough. Anyways, the attacking lineup now, the big question is Demarai Gray versus Cephas. Who will play? In my view, I'll be doing a video on Cephas, so look out for the video on Cephas. In my view, I'm going to say Cephas must play. But remember, in the football world, this might sound weird, there is hierarchy, there is seniority, and it matters. But let's see how this one materializes. Big up on yourself, people. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys again. Anytime, all the time. MG Sports. We're out. God bless. Boom! I'm gonna forget that. Outside! Girls in what? Outside!